Well, a couple weeks ago, this lady predicted all of this.
How certain are you that we'll see something in 2025?
I'm certain we'll either have embassy attacks in 2025 or the homeland attack or both.
Yep, as the United States now is on high alert, as we keep hearing about a lot of stories all around the country. Now with authorities looking at suspicious vehicles, suspicious packages, and activities, as the corporate media, along with the Federal Bureau of Investigations, keeps failing us. The American people keep putting things together that I'm going to highlight in this particular video that are absolutely worth paying attention to, because this story is a lot bigger than, of course, a lot of people are letting on to, as the FBI initially lied about this entire incident and actually covered up the ISIS flag so the general public wouldn't see it. As there's now some larger questions surrounding what's up with Fort Bragg here that we're going to be getting into, as the latest information that we're getting is that bomb-making materials were found at the Airbnb that was linked to this crazy radical jihadi that took the lives of 15 individuals in New Orleans in an attack from his rented EV truck. This, as we're finding out that the attack was supposed to be a lot more horrible than it actually was, as improvised explosive devices weren't actually detonated, weren't actually used, but were made here for this particular attack. This, as the FBI has just found 150 plus explosives in Virginia, where the authorities there are saying that the suspect of was preparing for something big. As a lot of local government officials are asking questions to the FBI, and they're not getting a lot of answers here, including the Louisiana Attorney General that is seeking more answers about potentially additional suspects here. As let's just be honest here, the FBI doesn't have the best track record when it comes to dealing with these type of particular events, preventing them, stopping them, as there's a lot of evidence of them previously aiding and abetting them, as previous FBI agents have been caught texting, courting, and even pushing jihadis and other terrorists to actually commit horrible actions on the American people, as the FBI recently stonewalled U.S. Senator Grassley when he was trying to find out what happened during a major incident in Texas where the FBI was involved with the suspect of that crime. What was their larger involvement here? The FBI won't tell you. Were they involved in these larger attacks? Well, we don't know. We don't have any evidence of that, but the larger question still remains. Why did they not prevent it, as the lunatic here, specifically in this New Orleans case, was literally releasing videos on Facebook, declaring his idolization of ISIS and how he was going to take the lives of innocent people. As it's also important to note here that the U.S. intel agencies have extensive connections to radical jihadism, as there are a number of classified and declassified government documents and government whistleblowers that have proved that the United States government, with your tax dollars, has created ISIS, that this lunatic is taking responsibility for committing the larger acts that took the lives of 15 Americans yesterday in New Orleans. As the corporate media doesn't piece those pieces together, they're actually just botching this entire story, as they're describing the situation in Las Vegas as just simply a car catching fire. Nothing to worry about here, as MSN, New York Times, The Guardian, and other corporate media organizations literally were just obfuscating what's really happening here. As even the Associated Press was just fact-checked on their article saying that one person lost their life when a Tesla truck just caught on fire. As the community note now reads, the headline is misleading. It was not a mechanical problem. The explosives contained in the truck were described as fireworks, gas tanks, and camping fuel, which authorities believe were connected to the detonation system that was within the truck. As this story just keeps getting more and more bizarre. As it's important to note here that the Federal Bureau of Investigations, from the very beginning of this, were obfuscating the larger impact of this. Not only by declaring this as an event and not a terrorist event, but specifically also using jackets to cover up who was responsible for this crime. As now the FBI is telling us that the suspect in the New Orleans attack, quote, acted alone. This, as it looks like there was a similar style kind of event that unfolded in Las Vegas, as the FBI now wants you to believe that two separate individuals that actually trained at the same military base both rented electric vehicles from Toro and decided to do acts of terrorism with them, trying to take the lives of other innocent human beings. All, of course, on the same day, as the Las Vegas case is a little bit more intriguing than this New Orleans case. As, of course, if you look at the New Orleans suspect, you could see someone that was downtrodden, that dealt with poverty, was living with goats and sheep, was divorced. You can see him describe his larger financial problems that the average American now routinely has to deal with. And you could see his kind of spiral out of control as, of course, he also went missing, became erratic, and stopped talking to his loved ones, stopped seeing his family and his children right before the larger incident that unfolded in New Orleans. As this suspect in Las Vegas has now, according to the authorities, been confirmed as a Matt Livsenberg, 37 years of age, who still was an active duty Green Beret operations sergeant who literally was on leave in Germany. As, of course, both of these people served at the same U.S. military base. Both of them rented electric vehicles, but the FBI tells us there's no link here absolutely at all. As we're also finding out that he went missing from his family and his wife days before this particular incident, highlighting a larger kind of bizarre case here. Why would someone actually do that? As previous photos of him show him wearing a Slava Ukraine shirt, and there's other people describing him as an anti-Trump, politically persuaded person who shared a lot of anti-Trump rhetoric on his personal Facebook page. Now, overwhelmingly, he looked like a very kind of successful, up-and-coming kind of guy, which brings into question, why did this happen? Why did he commit this larger kind of act that injured 7 and luckily didn't take anyone else's life but his? As there's also a lot of other online internet sleuths now connecting the dots and saying that this is also the same military base that Ryan Ruth visited over 100 times. According to Tony Ciruga, he claims that, quote, after extensive cell phone, laptop, and vehicle GPS data analysis that goes back 4 years, Ryan Ruth allegedly visited Fort Bragg 147 times, as Ryan Ruth is, of course, the second assassin that tried to take the life of Donald Trump and came very close to doing so. After yet another major security lapse by the people at the Secret Service that, of course, weren't even protecting the perimeter to where the President of the United States was. As larger questions about his involvement here is also something that a lot of people are bringing up, as Ryan Ruth also traveled to Ukraine, recruited Afghan soldiers to fight in Ukraine, had links to Azov, which is a known CIA front, as now we have another person that clearly sent a message to Donald Trump by exploding a cyber truck in front of one of his buildings that also was a larger supporter of the larger proxy war that's happening between the East and the West inside of that particular region. This says a lot of people are saying, hey, we need to find out what actually is happening here, what actually went down here. As my initial response to all of this is that I'm extremely skeptical of everything that we've seen, of everything that we heard, as I think it's fair to say something's up here. And I don't think this is the very end of this larger particular story that I think deserves a lot more of our attention. And if you agree, share this video with your friends and family members. We're going through a lot of drastic changes here as an independent media organization. As of right now, we still have a store up on wearechange.shop. We might get rid of the store soon, just a heads up. We got a lot of great products, but we're doing all the work internally. It's a lot of work. We literally individually mail out each package to you here. So while we still have them, make sure to get your hands on some of the best supplements on the market on wearechange.shop, as a lot of the stuff we have here are absolutely incredible, absolutely great. My favorites, the first one we ever started with was, of course, the Chill Pill, ashwagandha with black pepper. You actually click on it, you get a video in the top right-hand corner that you should play, as this stuff is absolutely powerful for a lot of males out there that are looking to increase their testosterone, looking to, of course, de-stress, as ashwagandha lowers your cortisol levels, and it's really next level stuff that definitely elevates your game and everything you're trying to accomplish, especially if you're a man. Again, do your due diligence, do your homework, make sure you're taking the right supplements that are right for you on an individual one-on-one basis. This is powerful stuff that I take 1 month out of the year. Mainline medical doctors are like, yeah, you could take it 3 months out of the year. I'm just a little extra cautious. I like this stuff. I use this stuff. It's a great gift to give to your loved ones, especially if they're aging males that, of course, need a boost when it comes to their workout performance, when it comes to their testosterone, that, of course, is overwhelmingly dramatically low in a lot of males, and it continues to go down. Don't be a statistic. Take care of yourself. Go on wearechange.shop. Get our supplements while they are still available on our store. As, of course, we return in just a few hours from now with a very special podcast episode only available here on youtube.com/wearechange. Stay tuned for more. I love you guys.
Oh, would you look at this?
Yeah, well.
Would you look at that?
Yeah, there's a few more blemishes on the car.
Oh my gosh, just look at it.
The car is not perfect.